J. Cage, again, with wealth education, where equity starts. You know what I'm saying? The beauty about this platform, this online university, is able to advance me because, like they say, a lot of times we forget more than we learn. So I go back over my notes, my own things, and it put me right back in position. You know what I'm saying? So like I tell people, I'm not just talking, I'm in it. So today's subject gonna be based on valuation, one of my favorite subjects. Like I keep telling y'all, this is the fundamentals to wealth education. Once you understand your valuation, you understand how to issue equity to get funding for your company within to yourself and in-house partners and outside investors and so far and so on. That's the whole concept. This is another form of private banking also, because private banking is not just a secured party credit strategy or the insurance policy, or it's also you're taking funding in and putting it into your non-banking enterprises. So with that being said, let's get into it. Here we go. Once again, how to value your company. Traditionally, this how I learned it from valuing my paper companies in my university while I was away, you know what I'm saying, on my bid per se, So this how I worked it. I was so busy trying to create valuations for my company to I finally had got a good understanding of it. So right here, I was understanding from this perspective, traditional, which is NAV, net asset value, NAV. So an entity assets manages the value of its liabilities. Hard assets, that's physical assets, fixed assets, more intrinsic value, right? Well, that's something that before a lot of things went into fiat currency, your companies back then had a lot of substance because they had real value because your dollar was backed up by gold, and your stock market was wasn't like your modern individuals that's trading. That was company to company where if I bought stock through my company and I spent X amount of dollars, that give my company value, which that still goes on today. That's the first stage I learned from company to company investing. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you can even say sometimes your equipment, all them things got to be deducted and all that. So then you got a column of your statements where it's gonna have long-term assets will be real estate, even bonds. You know what I'm saying? That's in liquid assets. You just can't liquidate your money that fast. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize that real estate is not liquid, but it's long-term. You see what I'm saying? Short-term assets gonna be cash. People say cash is trash, but it's an assets on the book. So your stock, the public trade stock is liquid. You can always get your money back. Now if it's private held, it may be a little bit, hybrid in liquid, liquid and this and that. But them your main things, you know what I'm saying, that's dealing with your short term, liquid assets more. I probably forgot one more because it's been a while since I digged into this side of, dealing with the traditional way of, how you evaluate your company, value your company on this side. You know what I'm saying? So that's the short term assets. And you understand that the more money you put into your company, it's an equity. You understand what I'm saying? It's equity capital. Equity capital. I might have it wrong. Capital equity represent the owner's, amount of his, if it's an LLC, you might have, your capital account. So this determines a business valuation. Once you understand that, you might have a paper that you're saying, okay, we're gonna buy real estate. We're gonna buy, into this real estate. We might buy residential property. We might buy, commercial real estate where you might have a fixed income. A fixed income could be, bonds, etc. You know what I'm saying? But in that, you constructing this paper, this business plan, saying that what you're going to buy. That that's what I learned fast about that part of constructing the business plan and that nature. You know what I'm saying? Over here, I just say monitoring because once my guy Troy had hit me more into the multiply, I had to listen. I say, hold on, a multiply. So we was sitting down, they kept saying, see, this company that you showing me is undervalued. I love to get this from your J and woo woo woo. And I was just shooting it out there because this is how I do my illustrations on paper to get better at what I'm doing. And he saw the undervalued market to this company. It was a $10 million revenue and so forth. Like, I go to the bank, I could borrow 4 times more based on my revenue. So then I started getting my own in-depthness of with the multiplier when he enlightened me to that. You could say, taught me that side. So I said, I've been doing all this hard work, valuing these companies through net assets value, and they got a multiple. I understood the comparison, how you take and compare a company to that one, and like you do in real estate, compare the property to that property, the estimated value, appraisal. But now, so I say moderate, multiple. 10x the revenue. So you can take the revenue. And I use trucking because that's what's trending right now. A lot of our people getting into the trucking business is realistic. You know, I like to deal with optimistic, but it's realistic. So I know the average trucking company make between 280 and 300,000 revenue. Yeah, we ain't deducting, we just talking about revenue. So like I just was saying on one of my other ones, when I go into this, I say, okay, this trucking company is saying it's 300,000 revenue, and we got multiply 4 to 10. So a multiple of 4 to 10. So 300K times 4 is 1.2 million. So we saying this company now, before we even go ask for funding through our debt providers, through traditional banks or private lender, where we getting our funding from, we already saw that this company is valued at 1.2 million before he must perform with all the contracts. And most trucking companies, they're going to get contracts, so they always know that the truck is going to get loads going out, coming back in, right? So it's pretty much a revenue-based business. But now we're just saying it's 1.2 million on paper, but also he can multiply it 10 times if he wants. So now he got good personal credit, he got business credit, aided pay score, and other great things and things he did, and plus his value, he's a bad mother jammer now. You get what I'm saying? And we could take that from that realistic point. We could say this 10 million because it's all about your creation of how far you see your product and service. So like I tell people, I believe I just say it was $20 for 50,000 units, $1 million. So you got to be able to create something that's saying how many products or how many services, units that you're going to provide to create your projection and profit, your PL, your profit and loss sheet, your statements, or your projection. See how much money you're going to be basing. You start doing it from weekly, monthly, yearly. Start getting acquainted with it. You start crunching the numbers. Now you get confidence. You start getting people that can do your proposal for you and things of that nature. So now we got the next layer of how to evaluate your company. EBIT, which most guys in the market understand this. It's just the opposite of net operating income. When you qualify an apartment, you ask me, it's going to be earnings before interest and taxes and depreciation and amortization. You know what I'm saying? It gives you into the CCA, comparable company analysis. So now this kind of we starting. It could be a truck company. You might have a truck company. You start off say, I want to create a fleet of trucks to start out with. Now you might say, all right, you got other big truck companies that might be worth tens of millions of dollars, $100 million company trucks. Any type of entry you go, you want to know what the value of these other companies, so you can get an idea of what your valuation going to be. And that's called a comparable. You see, so they compare it with the other industry. Like when I was around a guy, he was talking about this on the strip mall. He said he bought a strip mall, and he said right there he got the valuation for the mall across town, and right there giving the valuation of this mall worth like he made it worth about 50-60 million. And when he was talking about it, it kind of like made a lot of sense. And then my guy can do a lot of law work for him and say, yeah, that motherfucker, that Mr. Ad was woo woo. You know, he's on American Greed and things like that, but he was real knowledgeable. And when I sent him my proposal just to see how good that these things was coming out, he would see the number and say, what the rest of it? Because we'll test our equipment. And me to sit down, I used to ask him certain questions and stuff. If he got out, what would be the first thing? And he'll tell me, you know, I was asking him what type of attorney to structure all these things I'm trying to do. He said acquisition attorney. So I was right on time what I was putting together. So there was a guy that actually that made a lot of money, that was I believe was a billionaire seller, and he bought a lot of industrial real estate, you know, strip malls and things of that nature. And one day he was talking when I didn't really got the concept of depreciation and appreciate, talking about with the mall, you could appreciate it up, but the time to pay tax had to appreciate it down. I also visited equity stock to where I heard it, but it didn't really catch my interest to sit there and just really be a sponge and pick up on some real methods of things he was talking about. But as time spent around, when I got more into my debt service side of things, I started understanding appreciation and depreciation, which that's the beauty of real estate and different other assets you could appreciate and appreciate and depreciate as time go on. So this is basic 2 dimensions of how you create a valuation of your company. So now on paper, you're already a multi-millionaire, billionaire, whatever it won't be, and you don't get caught up in the hype, going around telling everybody you're a millionaire, billionaire. You just still work hard and work smarter. You know, you submit your applications in, you know what I'm saying? But now they see that this the powerful guy that's coming in, and he got partnerships. He got all his he got all his partners ready to move with him, management, you know, got top executive guys. He got, you know, guys that's coming in from different angles, and they gonna be running this operation for him and with him, so they understand that when you on your Gulf Stream, that, you know what I'm saying, that you orchestrate more deals to keep this funding going, to keep this operation running. So, we kicked up on these big Gulf Streams and, different things of that nature, all the, the other ones. I ain't gonna talk about the Airbuses, all that. But for right now, we're just saying that that's what the freedom come into, because we understand land, but it's about air and water. So, the 500-foot thing, in the water or the air. But this way you gotta start to understand, wealthification is where equity starts. And when you understand that, you start looking more into equity, within self first, your idea, your product, your valuation. But go ahead, let this thing go. So now you see an idea, a general idea of how to value your corporation, how to value your company. Because I already give you what the private placement memorandum was. I'm giving you all the different layers dealing with the equity side of your business. That's what we here for. We create business equity, not just business credit. We could talk on that too, but we create business equity. You know what I'm saying? It starts on the paper. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. Let's get this stuff right. And matter of fact, get some time. Don't forget to download this at wealthification.org. This is our free financial guidebook that I did. It go along with the the platform. Wealthification, like I said, Wealthification $1 trillion industries. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. See the straw man clear. You know what I'm saying? Sign symbols for the conscious mind. You know what I'm saying? Don't be fooled by the color scheme. But I'm out, baby boy. Get with me. Always peace and love. Stay focused and stay arrogant and humble. Balance it out. Don't let the ego control you. You own nothing on this planet. You know what I'm saying? You don't own the soul. You own nothing. You just want to control everything. We still might use the word own because it's been traditional taught to us for so long. But at the same time, you got to have self-control to control the rest of the things around you and the people around you. Peace. I'm out once again. Later.